Righto, so today we're kicking around in Cairns. You might remember this fella, hey? This is Caleb, Pro Touring Concepts. You've seen the full package in the back of me Norweld. That's where we're going now. We're going to Norweld in Cairns, and I'm going to show you around the factory. So we get a lot of questions from you guys about how much stuff weighs, how much stuff costs, what vehicles they build them for, the availability, where they are, where they fit them, everything, mate. So we're going to go in there, talk to Isaac, go through the factory, just a quick tour and show you a few ins and outs about Norweld, and it might give you a bit of a heads up for when you're doing your own research. Right, I've made it to the factory in Cairns. This is Norweld. Got Caleb and Isaac. You've seen them before in one of the vids when we fitted my canopy down in Melbourne. You get to meet them again. They're bloody legends. This time we're going to go through, we're going to show you start to finish how a Norweld's made in Cairns, and answer a few questions that I get through socials about my setup and just in general what Norwelds can go on, how much they weigh, how much they cost, all that sort of stuff. So here's all the rally stacked floor to ceiling. How much, mate? Per month?
So per month we use about 30 to 35 tonnes of aluminium per month. So we've got a lot of custom made sheets built just for us, so no one else can access the stuff that's made solely for us. So as you can see, it's behind us, all the way to the roof. So
run us through the process, man. What's the first thing going on here?
Over here we've got the plasma cutter. So the plasma cutter is high definition, and then we've got two guys on CNC brake presses, and then on the way out we'll go past and have a look at the CNC router as well. So all our cutting capabilities are in-house, designed in-house, built in-house, cut in-house. It's all done by us here, so we've got total control over the whole process.
Now, I often get hit up about how tidy my rig is in the Norweld. How do they get everything so bloody schmick? Well, check this thing out here, mate.
Yeah, so full CNC router cutter, so it allows us to cut up to 20mm plate. Gives us heaps of detail. As you can see, we're cutting some mounts for a Land Cruiser dual cab at the moment. Super crisp, super clean cut on heavy plate. Don't get that sort of finish with laser.
Roll into the workshop here, and then talk me through what happens in each spot, mate.
So boys deburr it down there and we'll fold it. So we'll come in the component stage, and each part of the component stage is a different area. So toolboxes, mounts, drawers, headboards, roof racks, all that stuff comes through here. That way we get the economies of scale. We know we can control the quality as well.
So they finish up around the corner, they swing around to this side. This is where all the tray bases start to get made. Canopy's on the other side. All your components here ready to go, depending on which tray they're going to build. And then they all jump on this jig up here, mate, and get stitched together so they're nice and square, right?
Built the jig in-house, headboards, floor sheets, all cut the size, so we know exactly how everything needs to be size-wise. The guys drop it in the jig, it allows them to spin it around, up and down, pops out. Once they've done all the deck rungs, you know, obviously controlled distortion. We've got the finish tray there, so the boys are looking at a finished one, doing the inspection on that. So once we're happy with that, it goes over to the assembly stage, where we'll put in the drawers, the tanks, the sideboards, lights, all that stuff ready to fit to the vehicle.
One thing I want to show you that I get heaps of questions from you guys about is why don't I have a jack-off canopy and why is it a full-timer? Well, I'll show you the difference. See this here? That's a tray-based package there. I don't have that. If you were going to get a jack-off canopy, you'd have this, and you'd also have a floor skin on your canopy and it'd bolt down to that. Mine is just the frame of the tray, and the canopy's floor skin sits on top, and I'll show you when we get round the back to all the finished canopies, you'll be able to see the difference and why we have a full-timer instead of a jack-off. How many canopies you put out, mate?
We're putting about 8 to 10 out a week, so with that basic all the way through to the crazy stuff that we do for Caleb with his models, so keeps us busy with what he likes on the 200s and the 79s, but the guys that made the components, we've got the flat panels, we've got the walls, we've got the doors, we've got the roofs, everything there is ready to go. And then the guys get those and they'll start welding those out. So this one's probably our biggest seller. It's called the Deluxe Light. Fridge, overhead storage, cable drawer combo, stripped down version of what's on Justin's car. Works really well. We're super happy with how that goes. There's another one there midway through the process. So Jimmy's just about to hang the doors, get ready for that. So once they're done here, we'll wire them. We've got a wiring bay, which we won't show you today. And then we'll go over, put them together, fridge slide, roof rack, all that stuff goes on, bolt it to the tray or the canopy base, get ready to fit it or send it to Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne.
Happy day. So what, at the moment, if someone's got lead time, if you order a canopy, how long does it take you from order to get one out?
So anywhere from sort of 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so usually we keep that lead time. It just depends on the model. If you're going for paint, wiring, all those things add up. But with how we do the process, you're not going to be waiting 6, 12 months like some guys are.
So you might wonder if they're going to ship your canopy halfway around the country, how's it going to rock up when it gets to its destination? Well, check out this. Look how much effort they go into packing these things up before they head away. I know from mine, it travelled half the bloody country. It came from Norwell, that went to Brisbane, to to Caleb. Then from Caleb, it ended up in Melbourne. It got transported a few times and it showed up without a scratch or a ding on it. And it's because they spend the effort and the time to strap them up like this, and it'll show up. And I think it's free freight too.
Yeah, so
bloody legend.
Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, no freight, no fitting costs, and then we've got fitting agents in South Australia, Perth and Darwin, so we have like a flat rate freight and fitting fee. So
once the canopy's all built in the other two sections here, it rolls into the final fitting bay. The boys do a final quality check, they schmick it up, make sure everything's ready to go.
So this is a 3-door one we're sending away. It's a full-time one, but you can see it's got the lights fitted, the drawer, the boxes are there, the roof rack's on, it's all wiped down. So the boys have got it on the pallet with the shipping stand ready to freight. Not sure where it's going to end up, but they pretty much get packed the same no matter where they're going.
So I'll just show you the difference again about the full-time one versus tray base and a jack-off canopy. So you can see here, this is the actual tray base part of the canopy, so it's all in one.
Yeah, bolt them together, no floor, same framework as the tray underneath, but there's no floor. We saved that floor sheet. There's no point putting it, no headboard. So the canopy and the tray base finished it together, and then our water just fill the bolts to that.
This is a 79 compact. They are probably one of your best selling canopies too,
yeah,
mate.
The compact for the Land Cruiser is massive. This one's a new model we brought out at the Melbourne show. It's called the Pro Touring Compact. So designed and built it with Caleb because he wanted something a bit different for the compact that I had previously. So I said, let's do something new. So we've done Enerdrive package throughout. We've got 200 in VTEC, as you can see. We've got the upright fridge mount with the router cut mounts that lock the fridge in position, and then we've got a strap that holds them as well. Cymarine panel, DC-DC, AC-DC charger, 2000 watt inverter. So mountains of power. You're never going to run out with this setup.
What's the standard package weight like mine, bare weight?
So your bare weight, so your tray base, tank drawer, boxes, mounts, everything, it's around 176 kilos. And then your canopy, anywhere from 160 out to 330 kilos.
Yeah.
So you're going to be...
Mine's about 500.
Yeah, 500 we estimate yours at, and then with the lithium batteries.
Add a fridge and some batteries, and yeah, you'd be sort of 500-600 plus gear. You know, you pack them up.
Yeah, so we always advocate GVM upgrade. Do it when you buy the new car.
Yep.
Get it done right. Make sure you're legal.
Another big question, cost, mate. So a package like mine, take it back there, so without the paint and without the battery system, just the canopy, so people can start and build their own. What would that cost?
Like, so we could go for a basic canopy base, it's around 5k, and then the canopy's around 13, which is on yours, so you'd be 18, 19k fitted.
And this is the man Caleb wired mine up, so labour, parts, and total cost,
probably
mate.
about a good, normally in all those builds is about a week's worth of labour in doing a canopy fit out like that.
Yeah.
And 200 amp lithium packages and all the Enerdrive chargers, big fancy screen solar, sort of start around that 8 to 9 grand mark.
Yep. What sort of vehicles are you most popular, and then down to the whole range, mate? So
79, the big seller, and then the Hilux, then Ranger BT50 after that, and then probably after that would be the 200 series that we're doing with Caleb. D-Max, Colorado, Navara, Tri, they're all there.
On to you, it is the full vehicle package.
Full vehicle package, right? It is essentially a turnkey system. The customers, I suppose, they're flying in all over Australia to come and have a look at the builds, see what they like and don't like about them. We amend certain build packages with them, and then we go through the process with them on how it's built, the time it takes, all that sort of stuff. At the moment, we're doing the 200s, the 79s, and a few Hiluxes. We've got a few of the 200s under our belt now, and we've got a lot more coming through, which we're really stoked to show everyone how they're all, coming together. We're using AEV in Townsville for the conversion. The particular conversion is a little bit different to a standard chassis stretch. We're using a fabricated clip, I suppose you could say, developed by AEV and JMax. The idea of that is to strengthen the back end of the car, increases your GVM and your towing capacity. You can still do it post or pre-rego. Pre-rego is a nationwide federal approval. Post-rego is state by state. It's pretty important for us to, so if you guys call us first before you make a commitment to something else and you're unsure, give us a call. We'll talk you through that sort of process. But some really cool changes with Norwell, all the canopies, the systems with JMax, AEV coming out through from now all into next year. And we're getting a really cool streamlined process happening with it. So 200 series typically 3.5 month build time. 79 a little bit shorter. There's not quite as much involved in the 79, but they're starting to look really cool.
I hope you've got some good info out of that. If you've got any questions, mate, I'm always here. Caleb's always pro touring, mate. He's great at getting back to people, and Isaac is on the phone about 23 hours a day, talking to everyone out there with requests and sort of quotes and everything else about Norweld. So great people, great gear. Boys, anything else?
It's just good to be with this bloke. We enjoy it, and this fella.